What's going on, ladies and germs? Welcome back to episode 17 of the walkthrough. Literally just jumping right back into where we left off. So we started Solvis questline, as I mentioned. We're going to do about half of it, but we're going to have to cut it short because we cannot go for the magic scorpion charm. If we do, we could potentially piss off Ronnie, and if we can't get our sins absolved, we're going to miss our platinum. So I think it's better to not even fuck with it. Not even fuck with it at all, whatsoever. So I guess the fastest way. Oh, you can't actually have your horse in here. It's weird, but you can. So we're just gonna leave Ronnie's Rise. You guys remember? We go straight out of here to the right. So we got the potion. We gave it to Gideon, not Nefeli. So you could actually give it to Nefeli, turn her into a doll for Solvis. You can give it to Gideon to dispose of, or use it on Solvis. Whatever ends up happening, it's kind of hard to tell. Or you could also give it to like the Dung Eater. You'd have to hold on to it for quite a while to do that. But we're just going to take the simplest route, the easiest route, the least confusing of the routes. But if you wait too long to talk to Solvis, he's just going to be dead when you come back. And that could have happened in this walkthrough. We're not worried about, like, if I would have missed this and came back, we're not worried about it. So that doesn't pertain to trophies. It doesn't pertain to your platinum. It interferes with Ryan's questline, so we could have ignored this altogether. But I do want to try to cover as much as the quest as I can in a single playthrough. We'll be doing almost all of the side quests, but there might be, one or two that get cut short because it's either not worth it or the item isn't as good. Because a lot of times, why you can't do it on one playthrough is because there's two NPCs, just like now. Just like with Selen and Jaren. We do Selen's quest line. Jaren we met at Redmane. You're going to have to choose one of their sides. So when it gets to choosing someone's sides, you're obviously going to miss out on the other item from the other NPC. So you cannot get all the items in a single playthrough. And since it has nothing to do with trophies, it's not like you go back up your save, get that trophy, then download your save and do it again. Because when you back up your save, you're just going to lose the item you get from this, right? So there's just no way to get it done. Let's go ahead and talk to him.
Well done. Very well. Knowledge of the... I doubt, if you put your... You wish to begin...
So with doing that, he will say some pretty good sorceries, though. He really will. Glintstone Ice Rag. Or Ice Crag, sorry about that. Fires massive cold magic from Glintstone. So 15 int, pretty low requirement. I mean, very low requirement. Hell, that's less than you start the game with. So that's really nice. You also have Freezing Mist. Releases Cold Mist before caster. 21 int. So it's just going to release a fog in front of you. The enemy sits in there. They get procced with Frostbite, which knocks a huge chunk of their health off. Then they take 20% increased damage. This is like a Glintstone that fires off. It's way, way bigger, of course. But that builds up Frostbite on them too. Now they're going to take 20% more damage, and you get the procs on that, plus the initial damage of the impact of it, right? Then you have Carry in Retaliation, the spell. So if you don't want this on a shield, you can just switch to it as a spell. They fire magic at you. You just hit, you cast that, and it's going to repel 3 magic glint blades at them. And now this, Carrying Phalanx, look at this, forms a defensive arc of numerous magic glint blades. I counted, I think it's like 12. Fucking 12 of them. So this is obviously going to be the best one there is in the game. I mean, the Great Blade, it's the best one you find naturally for sure, no doubt about it. But this one might be better. I haven't done any testing on it. But 12,000 costs, a 34 inch requirement. I would assume it is. Plus, that's a lot of projectile, especially if there's like a whole crowd of motherfuckers around you, right? Now we're going to go over here about Nefeli.
You had Nefeli. It's kind of expected.
He expects her to catch on to it. We're playing it off like we gave it to her, obviously. So we found his puppets. We're going to tell him we found his puppets, and he's going to let us have some. Real weird, right? So, you'd pick either one of these. She does a lot of healing, a lot of buffs. She's just kind of, healing you up, buffing you up, stuff like that. And then you have Jar Right Puppet. This guy's weird. He's just... dude with a jar in his head, and he's just throwing jars out at the enemies, a lot of different varieties and stuff, so it's kind of cool and funny. I'd definitely pick him. Although, how you say it, Thuralina, she does a lot of buffs and stuff. Both of these are good. Pretty sure you can only get one. But you gotta make a choice.
Begging for another... Delamay.
Yes, that's what I was gonna do. What is good, though, and just so we don't have to do this later, because pretty much after Ronnie's questline ends, we're going to all the NPCs we met. E.g., and I don't want to spoil this, but, it's walkthrough stuff, and I have to mention it. I'm sorry, guys. If you don't want to be spoiled, turn away now. You got 3 seconds. 1, 2, 3. After Ronnie's questline, all her NPCs are obviously going to die. So we're going to, and go on up here, get your memory stone. But all of our NPCs related to Ronnie's questline are going to die, so we're going to just pretty much do a route going around and collecting everything we can from them. All their bell bearings, all their items. And there's Bliv's mask, go and grab that. But yeah, we're just going to go on a collecting spree. That's Padilla. He ties in, so we'll get his bell bearing. He dies. We'll go get Bliv's weapon, that colossal magic sword that does a frostbite acid ward. Really good weapon. One of the best strength weapons in the game. We get his whole armor set. So Petita's bell bearing. We'll get Sullivan's bell bearing. We'll get EG's helm, that mirror helm. And then, so bell bearings, the helm, and then the armor and weapon sets. A lot of cool stuff. So now that is all caught up. We got our reward. We're not going to do nothing else with him. We're going to let time pass. He's just going to get murked off. You know what I mean? We'll come back for his bell bearing. If you want to get the magic scorpion charm, just know you might fuck yourself out of a platinum. You might not. You know, you might not. You could take the risk. I just don't think it's worth it. I've tried to use Celestial Dew before and it didn't work. So just, you know, keep that shit in mind. Anywhoosers, we're going to start from the Revenger Shack, head on into the lake. This episode will be tackling the upper lake. This will be our very last episode before our legacy dungeon. So we're obviously not going to go around and kill every single thing in the lake and waste time. This is going to be extremely curated, as always. We have a lot to do, a whole lot to do in this episode. We're going to go get new staffs and spells for mages, take out some caves, beat a dragon for the key for the academy, get some weapons, Deathbird, Ravine Village Village, get another trophy boss knocked out, optional trophy boss. So as we get here, there's only one thing worth note. There's a little loose loot you can collect, and if we, you know, we'll ride through. If we see it, we'll get it. It's not like it's nothing. You know what I mean? But down here is going to be a little collapsed structure with a chest inside. This chest has a phenomenal one-handed axe. Phenomenal one-handed axe that procs frostbite. And I'll be right here. Like I said, just like at the very bottom. You know what I mean? This is the only thing of actual note here, I will say. That's your Ice Ride Hatchet, like I said, phenomenal weapon. I've used this on other playthroughs. It doesn't go with the build we're doing, but I've definitely used it. It's definitely really nice, worth talking about. So, 16 decks. Really fast. And you just hear how solid it is. Like, it's just a solid, hard-hitting fucking weapon. It's gonna bust boys. A Sea Skeleton with decks unupgraded causes frostbite build up at 65. So, look at that, 3 hits. Yeah, even with the bigger one. And this is why we're not really fucking off here. It's just not worth it. But it does have Hoarfrost Stomp. This Ashen Warrior used to be really overtuned. It was just like a cheese when the game first came out. Look at that. Yeah, you guys are gonna love this weapon if you're doing Dex playthrough. You can just use this and spam bosses. You just make life really easy. Keep in mind, if you proc Frostbite, you can't do it again for a few minutes, but there is actually a cheat on that. So if I were to proc Frostbite an enemy, you can't Frostbite them again until they get thawed out. So what I would do, because it does, really shred their health, I'll keep a fire pot on me typically. Then I'll proc Frostbite, then I hit the enemy with the fire pot. And when I do that, they're obviously going to take damage, but it thaws them out and I can hit Frostbite on them immediately again. Regardless, it still gets really good damage when upgrade. It is a somber weapon. Do that Frostbite again because it eventually got thawed out. You gotta remember, this thing's not even an upgrade. We just found it. Level 1. By now you should have like a level 4 weapon, so just really good. Yeah, pretty much on everything you're getting frostbite every 3 hits. It's fucking crazy. It's crazy fucking good. It doesn't go with the build. I wish it did. Just damn. I mean, it goes with the dex part. It does not go with the arcane part. So we're gonna jump back to Temple Quarter. I do feel like that was very, very, very worth a mention. Let's change it to daytime for the time being, at least. Okay, Jamie. Alright, sorry guys, I had to let my cat out. So, as always, we're trying to go for the head here. Sometimes easier said than done if you struggle to stay at the beat. Yeah, you don't have to get his head. I just think it's the easiest because then we can get staggered. I mean, even his light attacks will eventually stagger him. See, if you just stay far enough away, then stop. You can kind of just walk away. I mean, his health is already done. He ain't even hit us once. Dragons just... You gotta remember, too, these are drakes. These aren't even, like, dragons. So these guys, you fight this way, eventually we're gonna fight real dragons. They are ancient dragons, and you fight them completely different. So remember, we're running away from that. You just run back. Let's get back in the fight. He does fire projectiles that are huge projectiles, magic projectiles, and they can fuck you up, man. They come out a lot faster than you would think. Where's that blood loss? He likes to reposition, then usually follows with the breath. Yep. We're gonna run to the left. See, this is my favorite attack because when you roll through this stomp, you kind of turn around, you're right by his head. And as you see, guys, we just did a no-hit run on a fucking magic dragon. A no-hit run on a magic dragon, not even trying to. Like I said, they're just not too bad, you know what I mean? They're really not. Then after that, we're going to go behind them, get the glintstone key. There's two of these glintstone keys. One's for us, one's going to be for Thops. Thops, you know, when you go through and get his dialogue, when the shattering happened, there's a spell. They pretty much just threw him out of the academy. That's his place. He belongs there, but he needs a academy glintstone key. But these keys are binded to the user. So if you use one that, you know, is someone else's, I guess it's not good, as we will find out. So from there, we're just heading straight northeast heading. And we're going to go over here to this little cave. So this cave is right under the right of the academy, right at Lucaria Academy. And it's actually pretty short, but pretty cool too. So this is where we're going to really start getting into fighting mages. Oh no, let's see what we need, 25. I just go on down. We should be close to our 20 decks, yeah. We can get back in Arcane. I know it kind of sucks leveling Arcane when we're not even really using it yet, but trust me, it's going to be worth it, because as we find these really good Arcane weapons, we're going to have the stats to use them immediately, and already have great scaling for it. And as I mentioned, our dex is going to stop at 35, then we're going Arcane highs. We can get it that way, we get more off our fire and our blood loss. And I mean, we could just stay at the bare minimum of Arcane, which I think we would need 20 for both of the main weapons we're going to use. One is a katana with fire and blood loss, and the other is Morgoth's cursed sword. Both of these are going to be very, very good for this build and very nice for newer players. But the thing of it is you only need like 17 dex. No, you need 35 dex. That's why we're taking 35 for Morgoth's cursed sword. So going higher in dex gets you more physical, going higher in arcane gets you more blood loss. I'm going to try to do them evenly, but if we can't get our arcane high enough, we're not going to get much blood loss. But I don't know. We could either try to do both 50-50, 60-60 by in-game, or we could stay at 35 dex and go higher arcane. I don't want to just get a bunch of blood loss and make it try to make it really easy. I just want to make sure we're actually getting some of the scaling to make it worth doing the build. You know what I'm saying? So, I don't know. We'll think about it. We might just keep them even, honestly. I want to go higher arcane, but I'm like, damn, too much blood loss is a bad thing. And one thing you got to remember with blood loss builds, most of these weapons aren't going to get crazy poise. Morgoth's will definitely get some good ones, but like a katana ain't gonna bust poise up like that. But as far as levels, we do need at least 35 dex to use our main weapon. Now our main weapon isn't gonna come until right around here. So we still have a lot to do. It don't look like it, And technically, we could go right after Liurnia, do all this, then go down and do all of Caelid all at the same time. We could definitely do that for sure. You know, like we could take out this Legacy Dungeon, then just go do Mount Gelmir, Altus Plateau, the capital, until we get to the Erd Tree, and then stop there, come back, hit Caelid, all the undergrounds, and then go to Mountaintops of the Giants. We could easily do that. It doesn't matter. You have complete freedom to do that. The level's about right, too. We'd be gradually going through levels, properly. But usually I would do this, then the bottom half, all the underground stuff, Mount Gelmir, Altus Plateau, get up to the capital gates, then go back for Upper Caelid, the Moonlight Altar, and then do the capital. But we're gonna check because I mean, Upper Caelid and the Moonlight Altar are higher level than the capital, so. I mean, note-wise, it doesn't matter. There's a lot of good stuff in the underground, but there's probably better stuff up here. Upper Caelid's got some good stuff. There's not much going on. It's just really like a boss rush. So we'll have to, we'll have to look. If I can get away with doing Mount Gelmir on the capital first, we might do that, just so we're not waiting so long for a main weapon. And then right here, Mount Gelmir, the best faith weapons up there. Some of the best strength weapons are up there. But then in the underground, the best mage weapons are down there. So we gotta keep that in mind. But yeah, a lot of the best incantations are over here. So, that would be helping. Strength builds, we get a lot of good stuff here. Faith builds, hybrid faith builds, dex builds, arcane builds. So we'd be helping a lot more people going here first to get them better stuff than we would doing the underground and only helping the mages out. So we gotta keep, you know what I mean? We gotta kind of think about everybody here. Honestly, mages get the best staff in the game from Bernal, the main boss we're gonna fight in 2 episodes. So I don't know. It's I gotta just do some testing with my notes and make sure we're not gonna fuck anything up because it wasn't originally planned. But if we can, we might. You know what I mean? Whatever's gonna be best for the walkthrough. That's what we gotta keep in mind. Not what I want to use. Not what I want to get sooner. But like I said, if I don't know, I'm trying to help as many people out as I can instead of kind of just getting on one class. You know what I'm saying? So. We'll see. It just depends on the difficulty and stuff like that. As we go in, this is going to be a very short cave. If you did get carried in retaliation, it will be your best friend here as we're fighting. Those are like the only rats, and it's all mages from here. Now, there's a few of them. The ones towards the very back, you can already see them piled. There's some bigger ones towards the back. Their spells hit harder and stuff like that, so keep that in mind. So as you go in, just stick to the right. Get your consumables. Get him down. We're going to kind of work our way using this stuff to hide from our spells if possible. I mean, it doesn't matter. We can kind of rush up, take some damage, and take them all out, but try to keep everyone as safe as possible here. But yeah, you can definitely just tank through it. I even put on my new shield. I love the way this shield looks. It just doesn't have the... And it's light. Actually goes up to your face. It's really nice looking. It's got like the fur and stuff. I really like it. But the guard boost is shit. You gotta keep that in mind. Alright, so this is the biggest one. It's gonna be your biggest problem. So as we get them cleared, we're gonna go to the back left. We're gonna come in here and get our stone sword key back we just used. So don't worry, you're not gonna, lose that. You still have the same amount as you had before we came in. As I mentioned, it's not going to hurt to go buy some from merchants. If you guys want to just farm up some souls in between episodes just to buy stuff, like stone sword keys or stuff that'll help you out, it wouldn't hurt. Don't farm for levels ever, guys. But for items, it's, instead of using your hard-earned souls that you want to use for levels, I would just do it that way. Alright, so as we go in, we're going to open this door and we're going to kind of creep around. There's going to be a really big mage, and he's a different melee mage. He's got huge ass wand, but he also has a huge ass club. So right when you see these flowers here, smack this wall. I'm gonna go get a critical backstab on him. Then we're gonna kind of just turn around. Well, it doesn't seem like they caught on to us. They did. So that usually comes in twos. Very, very slow and delayed. Gonna put him down. He does have a chance to drop his club, his armor, and stuff like that, but we will actually get his helm and set later on in Altus. Let's grab your chest, get your new staff. That is a crystal staff, 48-inch requirement. One of the better staffs in the game. Not going to call it the best. Obviously not. It's going to boost crystal sorceries. So when you start running into those, it'll get more damage on those if that's something you want to use. 48 intelligence should tell you it's a fine choice for a staff in general. Somber weapon. So going in here, we're going to have 2 crystallines. One's a mage, going to be firing a lot of projectiles, and one's your regular one with the spear. We know we need to break their poise. A mace would be your best bet. You know, obviously and always, a mace will be your best bet. Any weapon, a hammer, anything with strike. Harry's probably the best way to deal with this guy. But you see, we don't do any damage, right? Now that we broke his poise, we do. There's one. That is just gonna shred you. Try to get some charges on him while he's doing some bullshit. Put him down. Now he'll take damage to the broken poise. As always, a weapon with strike is going to be your best friend. That gives you crystal release. Kind of summons an orb above your head and just shoots out, you know, shit everywhere. Almost like that shower sorcery we got a while back. So as always, you could use this to exit. It would be a huge mistake, as we're going to get one of the most powerful intelligence spells in the entirety of the game. Now, this is a utility spell. It does not do damage, technically. But what it is it's going to create a sigil on the ground, about the size of this elevator, actually. And while you stand in that, your sorceries do something like 30-35% more damage while you sit in there. So it's just a huge buff to your magic. And that goes for any melee weapons you use magic. If you're using like Death's Poker and you sit in there and you throw that Ash of War out, that's going to fucking melt anything in its path. 30% more damage, it's fucking crazy, you know what I mean? This is called Terra Magica. And it is. It's a spell. If your mage is a spell, you should never take off your equipped spells. So Terra Magica, we got that. We've already hit the tower, right? So we don't have to worry about that. But let's go ahead and actually just jump over to the tower. Shit. Sorry about that, guys. I was literally trying to eat, like, while I'm doing this, because I just don't have the time. And I started choking. A little embarrassing, but yeah, I literally just started choking on a fry. Anyways. Sorcerer's Isle. We're just kind of going straight over here to where this bridge is. And actually, over here is going to be a side of grace we want. But this little hut does have 3 more stones. I think it's 3 twos. Yeah, 3 twos there. And then, what do we want to do? Yeah, we'll go ahead and get our side of grace. Get our scarab, Ash of War, take out the Deathbird, then we'll go for Ravine Village. Because there's some other little loose loot on these little islands over here. But we're going to do this stuff first, because it's kind of like, you know, away from everything else. If you just go down the bridge and look, it should be up 1 or 2 more. But there's actually a side of grace that I obviously passed. But I know it's more towards this section. Should be like right here. Where are you, fucker? I always lose this one. There it is. Okay, alright, so I had the wrong side. I swore it wasn't here. I thought it was here last time I went looking. I guess maybe I went down too far. Okay, so just like before, we have another jumper. And you can always tell, like I said, because they're always like the white ones, the clear looking ones. So if we hit the bug, we can do the most damage. You might jump though. Perfect. That gets you shield bash. That was on one or two of the shields we picked up, but now you have it as an asset ward. You can put on whatever the hell shield you want. And that's a somber shield, of course. So now what we're doing, guys, is we're heading like right around here. There's going to be little collapsed buildings, and on those buildings is actually going to be a site of grace, and it's right next to our death bird zone. Which, as I mentioned before, if you're doing faith intelligence and you're trying to do like a death knight build, he does drop one of the sorceries you need for it. It's like Ancient Death Rancor Call or something like that. So we got Rancor Call back at Stormville. I want to say this is like an upgraded version, but it might just be different altogether, you know. So as always, it needs to be nighttime. There's only one death bird in the game, but it does not have to be nighttime to fight, and that's because you're in like mountaintops of the giants and like the clouds are blocking out the sun, I guess. That's the only thing I could think. But since it is a death bird, this one's definitely a stronger version. He's like the one in Kaylee that we took out. And we only took him out early just to get Dex and build some really cool stuff. Because everyone else got a weapon, so I wanted them to have one too. And it's the same thing. Yeah, you can already tell he's gonna be on your ass. So we're gonna hit him with that holy. Look at that. He can put you down quick, guys. And the frostbite's gonna fucking obliterate you. He just doesn't let up. Oh, you bitch. There's always running. There you go. Fucking easy mode. That holy man, it's crazy. It's just about knowing what you can, can't do in this game. What's gonna help you out? So there you go. Ancient Death Rancors. They're similar to the other one, just a bigger mass of guys coming out. Now we can go and jump back to East Gate Bridge Trestle. So we're kind of just sticking to the right of that island where the tower was. On our way up, there's going to be like a loose loot here and here. One's a consumable and one's a stone. There's going to be a lot of the poison guys. Let's do that thing we did in Limgrave. So much fun. I love it. The fuck? Did we not? That was shit. That was really shit, guys. Come on, buddy. Try to make life easier here. I forgot the rope pots to kind of throw behind you. So yeah, we did this in Limgrave. It's so much fun. I just love watching the domino effect. Instead of dealing with 20 of these guys, for one, I mean, they're not worth shit, but, you know, let's say there's 10 there. They got us 300 souls, 290. Got a straggler. Alright, but most importantly, it clears that up so you'd actually get to it. And as I stated, it's nothing, you know, but 100% walkthrough. Gotta at least try. Try to get it all, as close as we can. There you go. So look around. Where is it? Where are you? There it is. God, since when do you guys go for that first attack? I never remember doing them, you know, them doing that before. I mean, they'll do it, obviously. Is this a sleep one? Yeah, he's putting us to sleep damn near. So they can put you to sleep. So they're like arcane crabs. There's a stop before grease, sleep, obviously. But when they do put you to sleep, it's only for a second. There's one other thing. There's supposed to be like a somber around here somewhere, but I think it might be over on the other side. Alrighty. So now we're just working our way back to the ravine village. Just look on the sides. In fact, there should be a chair over here on the right. As it's on the left. There should be like a little dude in a chair. That was the camp on this side, wasn't it? Alright. Well, we got that. Let's get back over there. I want to fit all this in this episode. We're at 35 minutes. We're going to try. We're going to try. I did tell you guys there's a dude in the chair, didn't I? Alright, so we're just running all the way down. And I told you, we're going to try to get everything we can, you know, worth our time. You know, 100% walkthrough. It's not just 100% of all the trophies, all that stuff. But we're not going to, I mean, I'm not so big to sit here and tell you, or bold, oh, we're going to get 100% of everything. No matter who tells you that, they're not gonna. You're always going to miss a consumable somewhere, or, you know, crafting ingredients. But you might even miss the somber stone. It's not going to matter, though, because you get a million of each of them. But when it comes to all the weapons, armor, bosses, caves, catacombs, anything worth getting, spells, we're getting, you know, we're getting all that shit. So that's what the 100% is. But yeah, it'd be impossible. A game of this size, if this is your first, excuse me, this is your first playthrough, you have no idea how big this, like, you have no idea how big this world is. It is fucking astonishing. Alright, so get your smithing 5. So now we're starting to run into those. There's going to be very few here. I think there's 4 in the area. If you know where to get them. I do. but we can start working towards them. So we already got 3, but I know there's one in Riley Cargia. There's that one. There's another one in this tunnel as well. Once we get 12 of them, and we will have 12 after Caleb, we'll be able to get a weapon plus 15. But when it comes to your 5s, that's when you really, really, really want to be careful of which weapon you choose, because, you know, stuff's rare for a while. Alright, so go on back, get your barbaric roar. Now let's go on up and get started on the ravine-veiled village tongue twister of a section of the game. Really is. So we're gonna have the little beastmen that use like the poison and all that shit, the blood boss halberds. We're gonna have miners, so we all know how miners are. Squids, bats, and harpies. Fire's gonna be your friend here for sure. Where's we at Dex? Okay, so we got Dex to 20, so we're back at arcade. What level were we actually? 67. Wow, that's actually pretty crazy though. So miners are weapons gonna bounce off and then do heavy attacks. And you're gonna get a lot of 4s in this place. In fact, you're gonna get enough for a whole weapon. You're gonna get 12, so that whole tier. How many do we have now? We have 9, so we'll have almost 2 weapons worth. We might even have 2. It's not exactly 12. It's like 15 or something. So it'll be close. So go on, stay to your left. There's poison traps right here. They kind of blend in with the emeralds too, so you want to watch out for that. We're just gonna kind of walk around, get everything on our left side. Make sure you get your stones before we move on. Like I said, this is a jackpot for smithing 4s for a good while. And you're gonna see more of these traps. Just swing way to the right and then around. Now there's a guy hiding behind these barrels. He's gonna try to jump out at you. Get him first. This part's a little annoying. We're gonna have to take this elevator twice, and it's very, very, very much worth it. So as soon as you see a platform to get on, make sure you do. If it was just like a rune or something, we wouldn't do it. But a smithing 5, you know, like I said, there's one more in here to get. That was it. They're pretty rare at this point still. So, you know, we want that, obviously. Then we're gonna drop here, and we're gonna, like I said, we're gonna take the elevator again, but I do believe it's worth it. Well, next episode we'll be doing another portion of Europe's quest. He's gonna give us a smith of 5. There's another 1 or 2 in Raya Lucaria, and we already have 4, so we'll be like halfway there, and then Caleb will get enough of the others. Now Caleb, there's only like 1 here, 1 there in the open world, but there is a cave that has like 5. Now this cave, or this tunnel, doesn't have enough for an upgrade, but with the little ones you get here and there, and with the tunnel, you will have enough to get 1 weapon, shield, or catalyst, seal, you know, staff, to your, you know, plus 15. Which is phenomenal. You know, just doing the game in a linear fashion, you're not going to have weapons that high. You might be at level 10. But when you look everywhere, you are rewarded. These guys are always weak to fire. So make sure when you go in here too. There it is. That's who we want. Back up. So when you get here, just turn to the right. Look behind these posts. There are stones here and there. That might be the only one, but still. You know what I mean. Turn around. Get him. And it's just lightning grease, but still we want it. So go to the far left. There are traps everywhere. And like I said, they kind of blend in, but you know, they're there. And then come over here and get 2 more somber 4s. Well, 1 somber 4 here, and there's 1 in scarab, then the regular 4. I didn't even see how many smithing or somber 2s we had after Carrier Manor. I bet you we probably got 20. I swear to God, I'm sure we do. These guys aren't going to really fuck with us unless we fuck with them. But we're going to fuck with them because I want to clear it all out. True Dark. Thank you, sir. Alright. Alright, so this next scare we're about to get, as we go straight out, he is a explodey boy. So, you guys know what that means. Hit and run. Oh, I was trying to get past him. I couldn't get through him. I was going to run straight out. It didn't work. Any Hoosers. We can go on outside, get your soft cotton right here. Get your side of grace and go on up. So navigate, this isn't too bad, but there is quite a few side paths. You will be rewarded for them. Somber 3s, somber 4s. So I said there's a few in the Liurnia. Like, they're not everywhere. It's like they're all out Liurnia when it comes to getting somber 3s and 4s. But if you do here, you do the tunnel, you do that tunnel, the capital, you find a bunch. Now, if you guys remember, as far as like out in the open world, there's just like a 2 over here. There was the scare we did over here with the 2. There was the 4 just laying on a guy in a bush. But I don't know, it's not like they've been all over the place, you know what I mean? So that's why you want to really do all this stuff, especially the tunnels, so as we go up, there's a bat above our heads too. Don't let them push you off. Don't do it. Alright, so as we curve around, there's going to be stairs going up, but instead just kind of roll off right here. Drop, get your 4. Blow him to hell. Now we can go on back up. Just remember, when you go up, we kind of skipped everything, you know, on the stairs. So we're going to go to the right before we go to the left to progress. And while we're right here, just kind of run straight. Make sure you get your 4. Alright. Now we're going to kind of backtrack a bit and go to a little hidden path. Well, before we do that, let's kill these bats and get the room. Alright, golden room 4. Now, you're going to typically see that, oh, I'm going to go ahead. But what you want to do is turn around and go up these rocks. It's pretty well hidden, I think, because it just kind of blends in. Not that it's hidden, it just kind of blends in. What we want is on the left side, right over here, be a somber 3. And there's a lot of somber 4s here, but you might be missing a 3. Like early game when I'm running around on my own playthroughs, I typically will run all the way here on purpose just to get a 3 because I'm probably bringing up a couple weapons. I can't find one anywhere else. Don't want to buy one for 4,000 runes. Let's look at the time. Okay, 15 minutes. I think we got it. So going to the right, we're gonna have bats. Just trying to rush up on them so they can't like fly off. Just smithing 4. Now, I didn't have anything over here. I went and looked. There's no smithing 4 or anything like that's actually hidden. You see them little platforms, but I never seen a way to them. But they could just be part of this place later on that we get to that I just don't realize that, what it is. It's hard to tell. It links around a few different ways. So these harpies can be dangerous. Like I said, they can grab you and just spray poison down your throat and it's gonna, just fucking obliterate your health bar. And up top, we're gonna have to fight 2 harpies at the same time, and it's not hard to get killed at all. I'm hoping we can get through it pretty easily. But one does magic. He's like crushing glintstone pebbles in his foot, and they like kind of fly out at you. And he's also casting other spells and sorceries. And then the other one's doing poison. You gotta fight them both at the same time. So we're just gonna rush them, ignore all the other enemies, and go straight for them because they can kill you quick. So when we get here, run, jump to the left. Get a rune 5, I do believe, right here. Yeah, those are worth a decent amount, like over 2,000. So. There's a little squid bro and a bat. Oh, more than one bat. He must have came from the bottom. When you take out that harpy, all those bats like fly down from this edge. So it looks like we have a straggler. That's all. This one blends in very well. Not when you know he's there. But behind here, we get another 4. So as you go up, we're going to go all the way to the right. There's going to be one of the really big lang octopuses. So there's a serpent god sword over here. Nothing too special, small curved sword, pure physical, but it does give you a bit of health when you kill enemies. So you can just use it, for that effect, save on heals. But I don't think it's worth the upgrades. So as you go up, curve around, gets 3. Oh no, that's a 4. Okay, I thought it was a 3. They come out. Yeah, so you can ignore all this shit and just go straight for the items. But he's kind of sitting his fat ass right on him, so. Before he goes all crazy, I like to rush up and just try to land that heavy on him. Stagger his ass, get a critical, and end it immediately. Damn, he got some health. It just depends on which weapon you have, because these guys are extremely weak to frostbite. When I was using Death's Poker, I got them with 1 crit. So if you're using Death's Poker, you're used to doing like charged heavy attacks to break poise. That charged heavy and regular heavy on Death's Poker doesn't really break poise. And that's the one downfall of the weapon. However, the light attacks break poise pretty good. It's crazy. You stack on a couple light attacks and you're going to be breaking stance every now and then. But it's not from the heavy attacks, it's from the light. I think once you understand that, that weapon will become much better for you. Because that was the downfall, almost ruined that weapon for me until I figured that out. Like I said, we're rushing the harpies, we're ignoring everything else. We already got 1 down. That'll make life a bit easier. Ugh. Yeah, they have a few things to just melt your health bar. Yep. I told you. Blow that poison in your throat and fuck you up. I think that was just a regular scream that time, too. Oh yeah, because that's probably the magic one. So the magic one's not doing poison. You probably did the right thing, taking out the poison one first. So we're going to drop off the back, lost ashes of 4. That's an ash of 4 duplication. So if, let's say you have 2 curved swords and you only have 1 blood loss ash of 4, but you want to get the blood loss affinity on both weapons, you can just take that, duplicate that ash of 4, and then put blood loss on both curved swords. Or whatever, maybe you just got 2 different weapons that you want the same ash of 4 on. So that's what that's for. Or if you just try to stack up every rune you could possibly get, duplicate Asher Sword, so, it's all up to your creativity, guys. But with that, we are done and ready for the boss fight. So this is Magma Wyrm Makar. He is a trophy boss. So magma worms are like dragons that can't fly. So he can rush at you. He's a big bulky guy. The fight can be rather annoying. Frostbite works very well. Dragon Wound Grease works very well. Lightning Grease works very well. Fire is going to virtually do nothing to him. Although, Blood Flame Blade would get blood loss on him, so we gotta keep that in mind. You have 2 summon sides here. You have the Black Guard and you have Tragon. So Great Horn Tragon is gonna be your better bet. He's actually the highest AR damaging weapon in the game. We get that in the capital. It's a big ass Great Hammer. It's gonna break poise really well, obviously, right? So he's the better summons to use, although it is going to give the boss more health. But yeah, so the boss rushes at you and he's kind of bringing the magma with him. Besides that, he's got some slams. He's got a really great curve sword that's fire damage. When he slams that down, that's a 1-shot. He can also imbue it with fire and come down for big slams that 1-shot you. But mainly what you want to do is it's 3 or 4 charged heavies you get a critical. Now the criticals don't do much damage, but if you got blood loss, instead of getting the critical, stand back a bit, just keep smacking, that's probably your best bet. Yeah, it's just a lot of tanking, pretty much tanking through his attacks, unfortunately. Because his hitboxes are really weird, and he seems to hit you even when he's not supposed to. And just remember to heal. The worst thing is standing in that magma. For some reason, like I had one about dead. I had full health. He didn't even hit me, and I went to get a critical on him, and I had to walk through the lava, and that killed me like a second class. That's in the DLC where everything's way over level. Said, weird hitboxes, magma's really dangerous. He's still going. Yeah, sometimes he'll glitch out and just do that way more than he's supposed to. Yeah, it's hard. It's hard. This slam comes down pretty fast. I knew it was coming, I could tell. Like I said, I think it's 3 or 4 charged heavies. You can get a critical, you get stagger them. Look at that. That's why I'm not getting a critical. That critical would not have gotten that much damage off. Plus he gets iframes right after. So that's him putting magma all over his sword. And if he tries to do one big slam coming down, you run from that. He's doing it. You can see him nice to spin around. Just watch what he's doing. But all in all, guys, he's just not that hard. We didn't even need the summons. Track off didn't do anything anyways. I don't even remember if I even summoned. Yeah, we did summon him. But so magma wyrm makar trophy, magma wyrm scale sword, and dragon heart. Now with that and our 46,000 souls, I might just go ahead and pop a couple rooms to get 2 levels out of this. We're gonna need like right around 50,000. A little bit more, but that gives us like 53, so. How much? Oh, like 2,000 short. Alright. Okay, so with that being done, we could actually come on up here. This is going to take you up to the Altus Plateau. This is the other way to get there if you couldn't find your, both halves of the Dectus Lift Medallion. So we are done, with this episode. Next episode, we're heading on into the capital with a quick run through the Academy Gate Town. Now, we've already, did an early trip there, got the shield, got the smithing 3, and most of the items, so we're just going to stay on Torrent, and just do a quick ride through the outskirts and Academy Gate Town itself, and, go on and start doing the capital. But I do want to make sure we have all the items in the area. So you can come on up here, grab this side of grace for later, do not rest. Well, I mean, you can, you'll trigger Radon, but it doesn't matter. We've already taken our Castle Redmane unless you have it. So if you left a marker, if you went and did Castle Redmane with us, and did the whole castle but couldn't get past the boss, go ahead and give him another run. You know what I mean? You just go back every few episodes or whatever when you get more upgrades, you get more levels, and give it more shots. It is a double boss fight, I understand that, However, from there, with all that, another trophy boss down. So that's 2 trophies in the last 2 episodes. That's what I tell you guys. Don't skip episodes. You might think, oh, I just need to look this up. I can figure it out on my own. You might be surprised. You know what I mean? You might be surprised. But from there, we're going to jump over to Academy Gate Town, side of Grace. And this is where we're going to pick up. But before we do, I'm going to see if we can just ride through, get the loot, and get on up to the, the Academy Gate. This is pretty much all we're doing, guys. No, actually, though, there is a few things of note here, though. First and foremost, what we're looking for is a little tower we can jump up in. We can get a stone sword key. And then there's a ash of war kind of behind this place a bit. Like I said, we're almost out of time, but I do believe we can probably get to it. I think it's right up here. Get your iframe. Oh, that was a cookbook. Where's the other one? That is. It's hard to navigate this. I can't bring up the map, but you guys just do what I'm doing here. Just go around, looking everywhere, make sure you have everything. But all I know is there's a cookbook, and then there's ash sport, and then there's the stone sword key. So the cookbook and the stone sword key are going to be in the little collapsed buildings. Number 2, I didn't even write that down. What's a Somber 2? Like, at this time, we have 30 Somber 2s, guys. That's what I told you. It's, go with the Carrier Manor, you'll never need another Somber 2 again. Well, let's go for the Astral Core. If I can remember where the Stone Sword key is, we'll go back for it. So this I can tell you. So right under the side of Grace, from the right of the Kari Academy, right at the gate, this is just underneath. You are going to actually need a bow. I couldn't find any spells that actually could get to the Scarab, as far as actually tracking it. There's also a crab over here. Getting cleanse on up. Right here. Let's heal real quick. Same thing, get your bolts. This is going to be for spears and spears only, the way I understand it. Come here, you little shit. Don't you dare disappear. Yeah, you gotta chase them down or they will disappear. So that's charge force, like I said, very specific to a spear pike. That's all it does, is literally charge force. So you can take him down, get your smithing 2s, and we're good to go. So we're gonna go and start here at the south Kari gates for next episode. First thing we will be doing is jumping down and hitting a graveyard. It's like right under here with some runes right there. And we'll go get the rest of the runes we missed earlier. Then we're gonna head on in here, start with Eurus quest, get another smithing 5. Start to progress. So how this works is you start progressing it, then you're going to get sent in a trap to Volcano Manor. At that point, we're going to clear what we can here to get the somber stones we need. Go over here, get our 8 or 9, then go into Mogwin's Palace, and probably got about 300,000 souls coming next episode. So very important. You guys stay tuned, and we'll see you back here shortly to take on Raya Lucaria.